Republican Senator Orrin Hatch was confronted by reporters recently after leaving a meeting with Republicans where he was asked, why we should support this American Health Care Act, why should we repeal the Affordable Care Act, basically a general question of what makes your bill so good and the Obamacare so bad, and what about all these people getting kicked off insurance? Orrin Hatch, who has been in the Senate for a long time, had this to say. He didn't want people in this country, through Obamacare, being on the dole. That's what he said, being on the dole. Now, in case you don't know what that really means, let me go ahead and explain it here. When he says we don't want people being on the dole, what he's saying is we don't want the government giving any kind of money or subsidies or grants to poor people. They need to learn to provide for themselves. Essentially, this highly coded language from Orrin Hatch was nothing more than an attack on the poor, blaming them because they can't afford health insurance. Orrin Hatch, like I mentioned, has been in Washington, D.C. for a long time. And this man has completely lost touch with every person in this country. I don't think there's anybody that relates to Orrin Hatch unless you're over the age of 100 and still miss the days of separate but equal. But Orrin Hatch is dangerous still, even at his age, because he's out there spewing this hate talk that few people understand is coded language for attacking the poor. You want people off the dole? How about we start with the millionaires and billionaires who benefit from your health care plan, Orrin Hatch? The people that are going to get massive tax breaks because of your health care bill. Those are people on the dole. They literally get cash in hand. Meanwhile, the people getting the subsidies for Obamacare have to spend that money on health insurance. They don't have a choice, and to be honest, I don't think they want a choice. They just want to get health care for their families. But the people you're instead giving that money to, they're going to spend it on whatever the hell they want. Maybe another yacht, maybe another house, maybe sending their kids to some well-to-do private school, maybe hiring another maid or something for their house so they don't have to do a bit of work. Those are the people on the dole. Those are the people that the Republican Party consistently tries to protect and subsidize simply for existing. When you think about it, that's what we're doing. When we give these tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires, we're giving them free money just because they exist. How fair is that? When we have people in this country who will die, according to economists, according to healthcare experts, according to decent human beings, people will die because they can't go to the doctor, they can't afford medicine, they can't do those things. Now, we've known that for years. That's why the Affordable Care Act even became a thing. But you don't care. Nobody in your party cares about the fact that 24 million people will put their lives at risk because of your legislation, just because you want a couple more millionaires and billionaires to be on the dole. That's what you should be talking about. That's what you should be worried about. If you want to attack the poor, have the guts to come out and say it. Don't use this coded language that most people don't understand. Because those of us who are paying attention, we're going to understand it, and we're going to call you out on it. And we're going to make you regret ever attacking the poor in this country because you want to give tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires. Your time in Washington, D.C. ended a long time ago. And I hope that in your next election, you get soundly defeated. Or even better, maybe some kind of scandal erupts that forces you to resign and then you lose that government pension. Hell, we don't want you being on the dole, right? You need to learn to provide for yourself. That's what you think about everybody else in this country. So if it's good enough for them, it's sure as hell good enough for you. If you like this video, make sure that you like, comment, and share, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you want to help support Ring of Fire, go to patreon.com/TheRingOfFire, become a monthly patron to help support independent progressive media.